this video, we're going to show you a full moon ceremony for integrating your shadow self. This is a completely transformative time on the planet right now with the full moon that's coming up, and doing this ceremony and what we share with you will change your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness, and I'm here with Leeor Alexandra. Keep your vibrations way up. And today what we're going to be sharing with you is exactly how you can integrate your shadow using the power of the moon. And we're going to be sharing our own experience with this. This is something I think is so transformative. You're watching this right now, then the full moon is coming up. And we want to share with you a way that you can get a similar result as us with something that transformed our life from the comfort of your own home using the powerful process we share. What we want to do today is we want to share with you some of the profound insights that we've had over the last, like 2 months now?
3 months.
2 or 3 months since we went to Rhythmia in Costa Rica, and basically just to share with you how you can go through and integrate what is called your shadow. So this is going to be kind of like a little shadow training where we're going to share with you how we transformed and integrated what's called our shadow to do shadow work, which then has transformed our whole entire lives.
Completely.
And I know looking at you and seeing you in the last 2 or 3 months, you're a totally different person. And I'm sure you say the same thing about me these last 2 or 3 months. I'm a totally different person because we went to Costa Rica, and this isn't about Costa Rica, but we're going to share a little bit about our experience at Costa Rica. And we both went to Costa Rica it was the second week of November. Right. So November
11th.
November 11th, 11/11. And we were there for a whole week, and we were doing something that's called plant medicine, which I know sounds kind of weird. I know when I first went, I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm just going to go for the vacation, you know? And I was kind of reluctant to do it, but once I did, it's where you go really deep into your subconscious mind, and you understand things that were holding you back, or things that were kind of causing a certain pattern in your life that you just weren't aware of. And what I thought we would do is share a little bit about those things that we experienced and how that transformed our own lives. I know that when you went, you had profound experience.
Completely.
So why don't we talk a little bit about that? And if you guys don't know, by the way, this is Leeor Alexandra. She makes amazing YouTube videos. She's very well known on YouTube and for what she does and how much she puts on amazing content on law of attraction, spirituality. Very similar to my content. So if you haven't followed her already, then definitely do that. Anyways.
So at Rhythmia, after the plant medicine, which I really wasn't sure if I was even going to do, the first night was very intense because that's when I had the deepest shadow work. And the shadow work was, what was happening was the plant medicine was showing me parts of myself, things I had forgotten or put into the depths of my subconscious mind in order to function normally, because because I couldn't heal from it. I didn't have the tools to heal from what I experienced in my childhood and growing up, teenage years, a lot of things. A lot of kind of traumatizing things that I never realized were impacting my behavior, and they were affecting the way that I was manifesting and creating my reality, because I didn't realize how deep my issues with men were, and it manifested in my reality. So basically what happened was I discovered on that first night of ceremony that first of all, I had some issues with my dad, who is a wonderful man. Yeah. But when we were younger, he was going through some things, and he wasn't able to keep my family, keep me safe, keep me and my brother safe. And the energy in the household that my mom was reflecting onto my dad, and they were transcending between each other, transferring between each other, kind of impacted the way that I grew up. And I created this belief in my mind, and this is something I had no idea about. I have no way of knowing this. It created a belief in my mind that men are unreliable and aren't to be trusted. Right. And that belief created situations in my life that would prove that again and again and again. I ended up in relationships with men that were not reliable, that cheated on me, that betrayed me, that really hurt me. And this all manifested from this childhood experience. I ended up in really bad situations where I would be vulnerable, or like in a vulnerable state, and I would get taken advantage of by men. All these things transpired just because of my childhood trauma, I guess you would call it. And it wasn't anything bad. I had such a good childhood. But this belief that I created in childhood created all these life
patterns,
all these patterns, and I didn't have the tools to deal with them until going through the plant medicine.
Yeah.
So when I went through the plant medicine, I saw everything. It's like my childhood self showed me what was wrong with me. I asked, what's wrong with me? What's deep down there, deep in my subconscious mind? And it showed me. My shadow came up to the surface, and when you bring something to the surface, you put the light on it, and you integrate with it, and you start to heal. And when I was able to do that, I changed my belief system, and I rewrote what men are in my life, what the meaning of male in my life. So before, male would equal unreliable, not to be trusted, and now I've completely changed that. And men are, I've created a new definition for males, which is trusting, kind, nurturing, safe. And since doing that at Rhythmia in Costa Rica 3 months ago, every situation in my life with men, every interaction with men has proven that new belief. Because that's what happens when you create new belief systems.
You get a new reflection.
Exactly. Yeah. And life shows you that what you believe is true. The universe shows you. So before, when I had all these shadows, I kept manifesting, excuse me, I kept manifesting situations in which men were unreliable and untrustworthy. And I was getting to a point where I was too scared to be in an Uber by myself. Like it was that bad.
Yeah.
But now everything's changed.
Yeah.
Uber drivers are so, I trust them.
I remember she texted me when she was in Europe, and she's like, my relationship with men is so different. Like, you were in the Uber driver, everyone is so nice to you, everyone is opening the door for you, all of these things were happening, and it was because you changed the way that you related to that, to what that represents to you.
And the universe had to show me that this new belief system is how things are. How my reality is.
So doing something like what we're talking about is like bringing it to the surface, because the subconscious mind rules most of our life experience. So she consciously was like, I want to trust men, or I want to do this, or she knew consciously, and we teach the law of attraction. And even me, it was a very similar thing. There's these unconscious patterns that you're not aware of, but the moment you become aware of it is the moment it then transforms. So for me, it was something similar in a way where it was a childhood experience that I just totally forgot about. I didn't even know. Not even that I forgot about it. It was subconsciously there. And it was such a small thing. It's something that you would look at now and you'd be like, that's no big deal. It was when I was 5 or 6 years old. I was going back and forth between my mom's house and my dad's house because my parents are divorced. And I was going back and forth. When I would go back from my mom's house to my dad's house, it'd be like every 3 or 4 days we'd go back and forth. I'd go back to my dad's house. My dad would always have an action figure on our bed. So me and my brother would come home, we'd have an action figure waiting on the bed, and anytime we'd ask him, we'd be like, what's the action figure for? He's like, it's just because I love you, you know? It's because I love you. Here you go, you know? And it'd be like Batman or Superman or like some cool, my dad was a huge Marvel fan or X-Men fan. So we come home and it was there, and that happened for like 4, 5, 6 months. We'd always have an action figure. But then one day, I was in this ceremony, we're doing the ceremony, I had this remembrance. There's just this quick little memory of me going into my room when I was 5 or 6 years old, looking on the bed and seeing that there was no action figure there, even though I expected there one to be there, because my dad said that he did it because he loved me. I was thinking to myself then, in the moment I walked into that room and I saw that action figure and it wasn't there, I made a meaning in my mind that maybe my dad doesn't validate me, maybe my dad doesn't love me, or why is it not here now? Why was it here before and not here now? So that was the 5 or 6 year old version of me. Now, in the ceremony, I was aware that there's a 5 or 6 year old version of me that hasn't healed from that experience, and that was giving that experience a meaning that said, I'm not worthy, I'm not validating, I need that to be happy. So what I did is I became aware of this shadow. I became aware of this part of myself that wasn't healed. And what I was able to then do is to give that 5 or 6 year old version of me, give that version of me love, and let him know, that version of Aaron, it's okay. It's okay. And explain what that means. Explain that it doesn't have to be this negative thing, because at an unconscious level, of course, logically, I'm like, bro, grow up. Like, you just didn't get an action figure. Like, I get that. But the 5 or 6 year old version of me doesn't get that. It couldn't understand. So, then what I did is I changed that belief. I changed that understanding, that definition of validation. And since then, even me and my dad's relationship, for example, it is so much better. It feels so much more in alignment, so much more understanding. That validation is just there because before it was just this belief that it wasn't there. It was there. It was that there was a belief in my mind that was like, oh, my dad doesn't validate what I do on YouTube because he wanted me to be a lawyer or like something to go to school and have this like 8-year degree. And he used to always tell me how smart I was, why didn't I do that, you know? And now it's like he just totally accepts what I do on YouTube, what I do for a living. He's so inspired by it. He tells me all the time, I love what you do. I want you to travel. I want you to do this. I want you to do that because you just, you know, like he's inspired by it now. That all happened since Rhythmia. Also, before Rhythmia, I had this, you can tell, and everyone else that's on Instagram can probably see, that when I share ideas and when I'm so much more myself now. Before I had like this wall up where I was like this YouTube guy, this personality, it's like 3 things you're gonna do for this, and I was very serious. Coming back from Rhythmia, bless you. Coming back from Rhythmia, I'm so loose, and it's just, I want to be myself. Even this plant medicine stuff that I'm sharing with you right now, I would have never shared this before Rhythmia because I'd be like, what did people think of me? When you become and you integrate your shadow self, you feel free.
Yes.
You feel free to be yourself. And people love you anyways. Like, I thought people aren't going to like us talking about plant medicine, you know? And we're not even talking about the plant medicine, that's what you need. We're not even saying that right now because this is the thing. What we're talking about right now is doing inner shadow work. It is going within you to find these subconscious memories, to become aware of them, and then to let them go. And when you do that, you then change your beliefs and you change everything about it. And one thing we wanted to invite you, we're going to both be doing this. This is a process that you can go through with us. And this is without any ayahuasca, no plant medicine, nothing.
No traveling anywhere.
No traveling. You don't have to, for us to go to Costa Rica and all this stuff, it was like a $6,000 expense type thing, is what it would have cost. However, you can, from your home, do what we're talking about right now, and it's having a ceremonial type experience. This isn't just like some little thing. This is an experience that you have that is something that stays with you. And it's you becoming aware of your subconscious thoughts, subconscious memories, things that are holding you back, going within yourself. This is what we call shadow work, is what we could call it.
It's healing your inner child and really giving them, just like how you did with
that 5-year-old version of me?
With the 5-year-old version of you, giving that little self so much love and healing them. And that's what the ceremony is.
Because then as you hear that version of yourself, you then integrate this aspect of yourself, everything on your reality will change on the outside. You must first change the inside before the outside. So what Leeor has done is created a program, a process for using the power of the moon. Now, this is also something we've been going through the last 2 months, is this moon, the moon energy that's been coming in has been very powerful. I've never been the kind of person that's like, the moon energy is like the reason, or Mercury retrograde. I've never been that kind of person. But these last 2 months, I've really understood the power of the moon, and they show that when the moon is out, full moon, the tides go in, go out. It affects the planet. The planet is 70% water. We're 70% water. It affects us as well.
So strongly, it brings everything to the surface, and it's the best time of month to pluck everything out.
Which is coming up. There's a full moon coming up. You're watching this video right now. There's a full moon coming up. And what we'd like to do is offer you to join us, because we're going to be doing a process that Leeor has created called light work. And light work is an experience, not just, you know, some little process you go through. It's an experience that you go through that will help you to integrate your shadow, to heal your inner child, to understand why you're feeling the way you are, to really come at peace with it, and then to transform from the inside out. This is something you do. There's to-do stuff that you do before the full moon, stuff you do for the ceremony of the full moon that brings all these things to the surface.
And then afterwards also.
Afterwards, there's a process that you go through as well to integrate all of this and then to have it to where you're good to go afterwards in an easy type way. So this is for you if you are looking for something that helps you to transform from the inside out. This is for you if you're looking to understand why you're feeling the way that you do, and if you really just want to let go.
And also to deepen your spiritual practice in general, because you have to get closer to yourself, to your higher self, and this is such a strong way to do that. When you integrate with your shadow, you become closer to your higher self.
Yeah.
You become closer to your higher self, life just completely changes. You become more intuitive. You become more aware.
Yep, that's been happening for both of us. We've both become much more intuitive this last 2 months. It's almost like more of our higher self abilities are coming through right now.
Just to be a whole person, you have to integrate your shadow. You have to bring light to the darkest parts of yourself and love all of you.
Yeah.
To become complete.
100% whole and complete. So right now, also, if you join Lightwork right now, which is the ceremony that we're talking about, you'll see a link right below. If you join, what'll happen as well is you'll get that of a live workshop with both Leeor and I, where we're going to help you to integrate your shadow as well. Understand this at a much deeper level. This is something you get if you join right now. So you'll see the link in the top of the description box below, which is that workshop, plus the whole entire light work process. She's had, how many people have gone through that now? You've had a lot of people.
300.
300
Yeah.
people have gone through it.
Maybe
I know
more.
you were in Europe when you were getting testimonials. She was in Europe. She was texting me. She's like, this is so awesome.
I was blown away by the response. The things people were experiencing and the healing. It was so much healing. And because there's the Facebook group, they're all talking about it afterwards. And they're like, yeah, I felt that. I saw that. I went through that. And then
You
they
kind of develop a tribe afterwards as well.
Definitely. And then they're talking about their experience afterwards and the 2 weeks after. And they're just like, I'm getting this insight and my dreams are telling me this. And there's just, it's so beautiful.
Empowering.
So empowering.
So that's something else you get as you become part of a tribe. People of like-minded that you can bounce back, understand what you're going through, interaction from both of us as well. So if this is something that resonates with you, if you would like to go through this ceremony with us, then you'll see the link in the top description box below. It's called the Lightwork Ceremony. Very powerful, and we want to help you to integrate your shadow to get the same type of results that we have without spending $5 or $6 grand to go to Costa Rica, a week of downtime plus flight and all that stuff.
Not doing that.
Yeah, some people are like, I don't want to do plant medicine. So, okay, this is a ceremony. This is what you could do. We were really inspired by that of Rhythmia, and that was completely why you made light work.
Completely. I got the idea.
While you were there.
While I was at Rhythmia, I was jotting down notes. I'm like, yes.
Yes. I even like the name,
This is
light
how
work.
we can do it. Yeah, it's called light work because, you know, we're bringing light to our shadows.
Exactly.
And my name.
And letting the, and yes, Leeor means light,
Leeor
by the
means
way.
my light.
So anyways, we'd love to have you join us for light work. You will see the link in the top of the description box below. If you join right now, you're also going to get that of a live workshop with both of us. And we look forward to seeing you on the inside. So other than that, we want to thank you for being here. Thank you for Leeor for coming on and explaining all this. And we will see you guys on the next video. Peace, much love, and namaste.